Hey folks, friends, brewers, subscribers, 24 ounce Tuesday. And Josh has me hooked on these damn Modelo Cheladas. I was going to pick something else out tonight, but I saw it and I was like, okay. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. Tomorrow brew day is going down. And what are we brewing, do you ask? What are we brewing, do you ask? We're brewing Dropkick Nate. I want to jump in this bag and do belly flops in it and just rub it all over my body and eat it and do unspeakable things to that bag of grain right there because it smells so unbelievably delicious. Dropkick Nate is happening tomorrow. I will probably brew on Uvu tomorrow. If anybody wants to join and you know my Uvu name, probably not hard to figure out. I guess I'm willing to bet most of you can figure it out. So, a lot of 24 ounce Tuesdays already came out today. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I think it was last week, Mike Dean did his 24 ounce Tuesday, and he basically kind of just talked about how he got into brewing and who he is, where he's from, all that good stuff. And I said, what the hell? I'll do that. So real quick, and I'll try to not make this a 24-minute video, but it probably will be. I'm sorry. I'm a little long-winded. So Victor Brews, my real name is actually Chris. Long story about where that name came from. I am actually originally, I was born in Washington State, but I pretty much grew up in Connecticut until I was about, from my younger years until 5. And then the majority was in actually Jersey, on the Jersey Shore was where I grew up. Moved to Pennsylvania at some point, lived in Pennsylvania for a while, and then at the age of 18 I joined the military and headed off to boot camp. I was in the Army. I was active duty for 8 years. The only reason I got out is because my last duty station was here in Virginia, in the Washington, D.C. area, and just the number of job offers and opportunities in the civilian world were kind of mind-blowing. And so I jumped at the chance to do some things that I had always kind of wanted to do, and so I did. So my brewing actually really started in the Army, really. If you count the Mr. Beer kit. Okay, so we'll go there. When I was stationed in Korea, I'd always been like a craft beer kind of nerd from basically the day that I turned 21, because the guys that kind of took me out, he's 21, let's take him out to the bar, kind of, this was in Pennsylvania at the time, we're shoving, like Yingling and not Bud Light and Coors Light. They were shoving, more tasty beverages, beers in my face, and so that's kind of like was my thing. When I was stationed in Korea in 2000, there was a guy that lived in our barracks, friend of mine, Eric, and Eric was making wine in his barracks room using fish tanks. He had like this, I don't even know, because if you make wine now, like, it's much easier than the way he was doing it. So it's kind of confusing, but he had like 2 fish tanks set up and whatever, and it was really cool. Like he, in Korea, really, we could only get like 2 or 3 different kinds of beer. You could get Budweiser, you could get Hite, Hite, and you could get Cass. all of them taste pretty much the same. They're all, Budweiser-esque lagers. So it kind of sucked, and so I would drink wine with Eric. This wine he was making in his room, and I was like, "That's so cool." So that was kind of my first exposure to somebody brewing anything themselves. When I got back to the States, I really got interested in this. I think in I want to say it was 2003 maybe. I grabbed my first Mr. Beer kit. Tasted like friggin' motor oil. I think I did like 2 or 3 more Mr. Beer kits. They were completely undrinkable. Um, Now, Mr. Beer kits, if you look at the S.J. Poor, his experiment he just did with the Mr. Beer kits, they don't emphasize at all, uh, sanitization. And so that's probably why I was drinking motor oil. Um, so in '06, I had a buddy that was talking about home brewing, and I was saying, yeah, I tried it, but I bet there's a better way to do it. We, hopped on the internet. We found a local home brew shop. Started watching YouTube videos. That's kind of when I started YouTubing and doing craft beer reviews, and and jumped in. We went to visit the local homebrew shop. Found the beer kits. Um, I basically did like 2 or 3 kits, and then I was kind of, they were great. They tasted good, but I was bored with it. It was like I wanted to create something more than just this kit. Like I wanted to do my own creations and not just cook a recipe that the ingredients are already there for you. Just do it, and that's not the way that I like to do things. And so I basically started getting these kits and dissecting them and replacing the grains they came with fresh grains that the local homebrew shop had, and I would take these recipes and just smash them, just blow them up and recreate them and create. I don't even know, because I've never really been one to brew to style. I brew beer because I like beer. I brew to taste, and so what was I making then? I have absolutely no idea, but it tasted amazing. I had obviously a lot of really disgusting batches, but um, I had some epic batches, really, really good batches. And so I brewed my ass off for 5 years. And in 2011, I think I said this in another video, life just got nuts for us. Crazy, just didn't have the time for it anymore. And I just put it brewing on the back burner up until this year. And I picked it back up again. I absolutely love it. I got to drink my supercharger last night. It was friggin' epic. It's really, really good. And I'm not just saying that because I made it. I'm saying it because it's really good. It really is good. If it was crappy, I would say, damn, I made a pretty crappy beer. I'm pretty honest about stuff like that. So, yeah, tomorrow's Dropkick Nate. I have another brew day. Hopefully this week. I was gonna brew Wednesday and then again Thursday, but the brew I'm doing after Dropkick Nate, I'm actually gonna start getting into my own very experimental type things. And the next one that I want to do after Dropkick Nate is actually an experimental, but I want to research something a little bit more before I just dive in and do it. I want to dive in and do it right, or at least as best as I can, and not just do it to do it. So there's an experiment coming up of mine, and then we'll see. We kind of had a rough month in sales this month, so my whole Keezer is being put on the back burner, which sucks a little bit, but you do what you gotta do. Because now I'm gonna have to bottle beer. Ugh, God, I hate bottling beer. It's not even so much the bottling that I hate. I mean, it's a pain in the butt, but it's the waiting. I hate when I finish something and I put it in a keg. I mean, I'm horrible with kegs because even with the supercharger, I'll keg it, and I want to drink it an hour later, and I will. I'll drink it uncarbonated and flat. Um, but with bottles, man, I put them in, and I will bottle them, and I'm like, damn it, you know, and 2 days will go by, and I'm like, do you think maybe it's carbonated? Maybe it has a little bit of carbonation, and I'll crack one, and I'll drink it, and then I'll drink another one like 4 days later, and I'll just keep doing that. And so I hate that process. I just hate it. I'm very impatient. I'm very impatient. I need that instant gratification. I'm one of those guys. But we'll see. Big shout out to Sammy, the thrifty brewer. We talk to Sammy daily. We just did a Centennial IPA. It looks absolutely fantastic. I can almost taste it from here. Looks great, Sammy. It looked really, really good. What else is going on in the world? It's been a really long time since I've bottled beer. It has been, because even back when I was brewing heavily years ago, you know, I think the first, out of those 5 years, I think the first 2 years I was bottling, and I was like, F this. And then I just went to straight kegging. So it has been a good probably 8 years since I've bottled, and I think I actually need to go back and watch some YouTube how to bottle videos, because I don't even remember the priming sugar to water ratio. I was looking at those the little drops that you can put in the bottles, the little carbonating drops. Has anybody used those? I'm really curious if those work well. I think way back when I had heard about people getting bottle bombs off of those and overcarbonation, or they just were inconsistent. I don't know. There was something I heard years ago that deterred me from using them then. And so if any of you guys have used those, let me know what you think of them, because that's so much easier than just, than mixing up the priming sugar and all that jazzola. There was something else I wanted to ask you guys, and it slipped my tongue just now. Slipped my mind, slipped my tongue. What? This is why you should never, ever, ever. YouTube should screen people who want to make videos. They just should. I slipped the tongue. Oh, God. That's fabulous. That's absolutely fabulous. Good God Almighty. All right. Jog my memory here. Come on, guys. Shit. As soon as I turn this camera off, I will remember it. But, crap. Oh, I had an idea, because I was reading this thing, I think it was yesterday, the day before, and there was, guys that were making, like, watermelon beer. And instead of, using watermelons or watermelon flavoring, they were using Jolly Ranchers in the bottle, and they were carbonating their beer with Jolly Ranchers. Kind of like those little carbonating drops that you can buy at the homebrew stores. And so I thought to myself, and maybe you guys have some input, I have talked to a few people about this already. I thought to myself, okay, well, if you're making like a brown ale, or something with a nice, deep, dark, robust kind of body, could you quite possibly use like the Werther's, like caramel candies? And would they carbonate? And would you get that caramel flavor from the candy? So, I don't know, just a thought. It's an idea, it's an experiment I'm probably gonna do tomorrow, because I am bottling the brown tomorrow. Maybe I'm bottling tomorrow. It depends on my brew day, how the brew day goes. But I may take one aside and try it and just see what happens. Anyway, this video is already way too freaking long. I really apologize, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Tomorrow's Homebrew Wednesday. I am homebrewing on Homebrew Wednesday. I will be on Uvu. I don't know what time I'm doing it yet. I'll probably kick off around maybe 1 p.m. Eastern time. If anybody wants to join, you're more than welcome to hop on in there. Again, I'm sure you can figure out my name, Hanuvu. It's not hard. It's really not hard. And I will definitely get some brew footage tomorrow. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for subscribing. Please share. Please comment. Love the comments. I've been really bad about answering comments lately. I'm so sorry. It's because I actually watch most of my videos on the TV. I watch them on my PlayStation, and very rarely. And I don't have a keyboard, obviously, for when I have the PlayStation or the TV. So I apologize if I don't always get back to you guys right away. Sometimes it takes me a long time. My last video, I haven't gotten back to anybody yet on those, just because I have not been at a computer. So I'm sorry. I promise I will do my best to get better at that. But I do read every comment. I love the comments. Thank you guys. Have a great evening, and I'll see some of you tomorrow. Cheers. Oh, let's try it again. Cheers. Damn selfie stick. Damn, I'm telling you, they need to screen people. They need to screen people before you let them on YouTube.